Planet Coaster is a great game for telling stories. You know, it's got great character, it's got beautiful props, beautiful scenery, and the rides themselves. You know, and when you go to a theme park, it is like a story in itself. You know, you go out and the things you do throughout the day when you're in a theme park, you remember key moments, and the same thing will happen in Planet Coaster when you're playing a game. Because it's piece by piece, it's kind of, you know, it's pretty sort of simplified, and initially it kind of just allows you to build something quite straightforward, you know, and it's just a simple, effective tool to kind of create a basic track.
It's piece by piece, but to me that means it's controllable. So the piece by piece is actually your means of input. So it makes planning your coaster far more simple. So what I love about what we do is I can channel my coaster through these buildings really easily, because I can build beautiful straight tracks, that I can build really intricate tracks too, because I can vary the length of the piece of track that I'm creating to get the level of detail that I want.
But if you want to get more complicated, you know, we have a range of special, you know, track elements, as it were, that things like cobra rolls and corkscrews and loops and stuff like this, which are all scalable. They change size, and the supports will work around those pieces as well, and that'll allow you to create some really interesting shapes, basically.
So if I've created some fantastic piece of terrain or scenery, and I want to chuck my coaster rail through that, it's actually very controllable.
It feels like when you're building a coaster, you actively want to kind of use it in conjunction with the other creative elements of the game. So to go through, you know, a keyhole kind of space in a piece of scenery, or, you know, underneath a rocky outcrop. Just an incredible marriage of the different tools that you've got.
Say you build a gift shop immediately after a coaster. It's probably what you'd find in real life. Then the guest comes off that ride happy. If they're happy, they're probably going to buy something because they're happy and they've got money, and they see this shop and it's fantastically themed, so they'll spend even more money on an item they get from this shop compared to the stall just down the road, which looks a bit placed in the way.
So building these modular buildings and building off from your shops and building these plaza areas, it adds to the believability and to the attractiveness of your park, but it also has an impact on the way your guests perceive your park and the reputation of your park and your ability to keep people in your park and wanting to spend money.
The most impressive thing I'm seeing at the moment with Planet Coaster is that it is emulating like the real contemporary parks, and also we're now looking at the equivalent of the dark ride, whether it be tunneling through the landscape or building an enclosed space with the fantastic kind of modular building tools we've got. It invites dark spaces, so you want to start caring about the lighting in a way that you haven't done before.
So it's very, very flexible, but you've got that kind of basic idea of building off of an existing structure in a very, very simple way, and then just taking it as far as you like in terms of decorating it and you know, how you lay out your park and where you put these things.
You take care of your fine detail with actual detail objects. So when you get down to a certain level in the landscape, what you want to do is start pulling in scenery, structures, really, stuff that builds into the landscape and doesn't just sit on it. It's part of it and rooted inside it.
You've got the basic structure there, so it's going to work from a simulation point of view. But if you want to make that shop or that ticket booth more attractive to guests and want to make it more enticing, maybe even make the guests consider paying a slightly higher price for whatever it is they're going to buy there, you can build off of it and build around it and decorate it with all these fantastic assets that we've got packaged in with the game.
If you want to be intricate all the time, then we let you do that, and we encourage you to do that as much as you want to do it. And then as soon as you want to copy things out and just make, you know, I made something cool, now I want to put it everywhere in my park, I can do that, that's fine.
We're not exporting funny little sets that you can only clone down once and then stamp, stamp, stamp. In this game, we're making it so that you've got the component parts, so you can start putting the big rocks together and generate your own forms. It could be like you can make some massive skull, you can make some crazy person. You know, we've had one of the art directors on the project has literally made himself, which is one of the scariest things I've ever seen. But you know, there's such a vast amount of freedom of what you can create in your park, and it really is emulating what people are doing in contemporary parks around the world right now. So it works really well. It kind of meshes perfectly with the gameplay. You can share the stuff, which then becomes something which is aspirational to others. We almost can't. There's a really curious competition, really, certainly in the art department, whereby we're building stuff in the game, and we're almost trying to outdo each other already, and that's what amongst that's a handful of people. Lord alone knows what's going to happen when this thing gets released and people start to play, build, and share. Particularly when you're building stuff which then has a direct input on the enjoyment of the guests in the park. That's really exciting. That's not just making a bit of curious artwork that you want to do. That's actually making something which is purely yours. It excites the community and actually feeds back into gameplay.
The stuff that we make is just the tip of the iceberg, and it's the stuff that the gamers make. The people who play this game, they will blow us all away, because we've seen it before, and they absolutely devastated us with what they could create, because it was just so amazing.
So that's the nicest part, is that you can go online, find things that other people have made that have put in this time. Maybe it's your favourite YouTuber, I don't know, and then just get some of their stuff, put it in your own park, and then you look at it and go, I don't like that specific window, I'm going to change that. And that's great.
Yeah, I mean, it's that kind of confluence of all these different tools and all the different kind of ideas that they can spark in people that's really really exciting. And also people are gonna do different things with these tools, and people will share these ideas with each other and bounce off other people's ideas, and it's just a kind of toolbox that keeps on giving, really.